everyone, and welcome back to the STEAM Forward podcast. We are so excited that you guys are tuned in with us today. I'm Savannah, your host, and today I have a co-host who is the alumni of GEN2050, and her name is Kayley. Hi, Kayley. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I know you just got out of school. How was school today?
School was unexpected. It was mildly uneventful for this week because of Monday.
Right. Mondays are like very mundane. I get it. Okay. Well, Kayley, we're so excited for you to help us co-host this podcast. And we know that you have had vast and extreme experiences in GEN2050 and you've learned so much. So I guess first, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, who are you? What do you like to do? What are you aspiring to be? Because I know you're in 10th grade or 11th grade. 11th grade.
Yes.
And you only have like a year left. So what's next for Kayley?
So right now I'm focusing on SAT, ACT.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new kind of focus for me to be focusing so much on school.
Right.
Where I'm kind of not as in 9th grade and 10th grade, it was more like, oh, we'll hang out with my friends and then school. And then now it's more you have a focus and you know where you're going to go. So I want to be a pharmacist when I get older.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm looking at schools in Louisiana, schools in Northern Florida. Nothing too far, but I also want to be able to get the atmosphere of everywhere else and then come back home. So
okay, that's exciting. Pharmacist. That's a lot of schooling, a lot of reading, a lot of math. Do you like math?
I do like math.
You do? You're like the only kid I know that likes math. I will not lie when I say that. Well, I know that you're like alumni of GEN2050. So can you just kind of share with us like some things that you've learned, your experiences? Is there like a particular moment or a curriculum or a thing that we've done that really stands out to you and really has shaped not only your thinking of what you're going to do in the future, but has really just gave you a basis of who you are and kind of just focusing on your academics and just be trying to become this exemplary world leader that we know that you are?
Yes, I was in GEN2050 back in 2019. And even after I left GEN2050, I still would think back on it and the things I learned in GEN2050. And then when I came back older with more of a sense of understanding what we were doing, like mindfulness and all that, we're even Foodie Fridays where we're exploring the culture of the outer world and what they have. It's like, I understand better so I can grasp it better.
Right.
And I can bring it outside with me. I can bring it to school for mindfulness, for example, and I can use it during my school day. And it's speaking to Pastor Linda, speaking with you, speaking with Mr. Mario. And also everybody at GEN2050 is kind of like my school.
Right.
Very welcoming, very like a family environment.
Right.
Even as soon as you step in. So
right. So you mentioned mindfulness. Is there something that you've learned? Was it with Dr. Gus? Was it with Pastor Linda? Was there something that you've learned that you practically use in your day-to-day life in mindfulness?
Yes. So I get nervous, especially during tests and certain classes, stuff like that. So to take a moment to like now where I like genuinely have to close my eyes and just think like calm, breathe, slow your heart rate down with your mind, just bring it all back down. Yeah. And use that so I can perform at my best.
Yeah. Dr. Gus teaches us some excellent and amazing breathing exercise practices. I agree. I use them myself. And you also mentioned Foodie Friday with Chef Grace. Can you give us a little more about that? What's the best thing you've cooked? What was your most favorite thing you cooked? What have you really learned through Foodie Friday?
I actually didn't even cook this summer because I wasn't there that day.
Oh, you were at Patch of Heaven or you were on vacation?
I think I was on vacation.
On vacation. Okay. Well, so this summer, what was your favorite thing you ate?
We had I like some of the salads we had. We had a lot of salads, especially with cucumber, tomato, stuff like that was really good. We had a lot of meats, chicken, ribs. I love chicken wings. So the chicken wings we had, I love them, especially the Asian cuisine that we had was my favorite because I love Asian.
So. I love that. You heard it here, folks. Okay. Kids who are in GEN2050 not only love math, but they love salads. Okay. And if you want to know more about our Foodie Friday, we have this amazing woman. Her name is Chef Grace, and she takes our curriculum. Sometimes we have cookbooks depending on what we're teaching that year, and so we really focus on a cookbook called Jubilee, which is African inspired cuisine. And she takes this cookbook and she creates like this 5-course meal, and she teaches the kids how to cook vegetables, how to like wash. Y'all have to wash dishes. I know that. You have to learn how to clean properly. And also you take this moment Pastor Linda has really incorporated to bring it back to the mindfulness, is to mindfully eat and think about everything you're eating. Where did it come from? Why is it so important to us? And to really learn manners and saying like, I may not like this, so I'm not going to make a face. I'm not going to say, ew, yuck. I'm just going to kind of push it to the side and say, that was very interesting. And I've personally taken that with me, with my life and everything that I've done. And Kayley, I also heard that you're an avid, also she loves to read. Kayley, I heard you're an avid reader. So what do you read and what do you like to read?
I'm more of an enjoyer of fantasy. I like fantasy books because I feel like fiction in general, because nonfiction, I read as escapism.
Right.
So I like to be taken out of the world I'm in and brought somewhere else. So I love worlds where they have great world building, where they can like take me there, explain to me what's going on, the people and everything like that. And even recently, Saturday, I finished a book called A Little Life. It was amazing. It was 800 pages, so it was a long read.
Oh, I love that for you. Yes. How many books? When I was a kid, I wish I read a lot. I didn't really read that much unless I needed to. But how many books have you think you've like read in just the last year?
In the last year, somewhere, maybe 50, anywhere from 50 to 70. About.
Jeez, that's awesome though. Come on, knowledge. Okay. And Kayley, she's alumni. So last summer, she got to kind of partner with some of the smaller kids, and they got to do various different things that not necessarily the other set of students got to do. So Kayley, can you tell us about some of the things you got to do last summer?
Yes.
And that you learned?
I learned about the plants that we learned. We learned about what we call weeds, but we learned about how the plants we call weeds are not actually weeds. Yeah. They're just plants that we determine should not be where they are. Right. And that actually stuck with me a lot. And we taught it to the other little kids around us, which is important for them to bring with them. We learned about butterflies, a lot of different butterflies, which is amazing because I feel like it sticks with you. When you're a kid, you're like, butterfly, and it's so interesting to learn about it. We learned about different plants, how they are built, the different things they have inside of them, how to identify a plant, what kind of plant and leaf and stuff. That was really good.
So some botany, some beekeeping, some the pollinators of the world. You learned all about that. Well, that's so awesome. Well, Kayley, we like to do a segment called the Word of the Day. And I guess we'll kind of switch it up this week. And if you could just think of one word that you think describes your experience with Gen 2050, and kind of what it means to you to be a part of Gen 2050, that could be our word of the day. So if you can think of one word.
My word for my time with Gen 2050 is, it was educational. Yeah, it was educational.
I like that. Just to do us a little like shameless promo, why should students join Gen 2050, Kayley?
Students should join Gen 2050 because honestly, even when you should join young, for one. Right. It's important to join young and then to just keep coming back. Because as you keep coming back, you take different things from different years, because as you grow older, you're able to truly grasp different things from different years. And then the people at the same time. You can meet these people you're going to see, you're going to stick with them, and you're going to know who they are as you keep coming back.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kayley, for joining us at the Steam Forward podcast. And you guys will see her beautiful, beautiful face again. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify if you want to listen. And if you'd like to watch, follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like, and make sure to hit that bell for those post notifications, because we drop a podcast every single Friday. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Steam Forward podcast. See you next week. Steam Forward Podcast.